Hey everyone, welcome back to Island Report. Today, we're diving into one of the most important documents in American history, the U.S. Constitution, specifically, its amendments. These are the changes and additions that have helped shape America into the nation it is today. So, let's break down each amendment and why it's significant. The Bill of Rights, Amendments. The first 10 amendments are collectively known as the Bill of Rights. They were added in 1791 to protect individual freedoms and limit government power. First Amendment, freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. This amendment protects the freedom to express ideas, criticize the government, worship freely, and gather together peacefully. For instance, it's why news outlets and citizens are allowed to speak freely about political issues. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. This amendment gives citizens the right to own firearms. While the specifics and regulations have been debated, it primarily aims to give people a means of self-defense. Third Amendment, quartering of soldiers. This one's a bit unusual today but was significant in the 18th century. It prevents the government from forcing citizens to house soldiers in their homes without consent, a common practice during British rule. Fourth Amendment, protection against unreasonable searches and seizures. The Fourth Amendment requires law enforcement to have a warrant to search someone's property. This ensures that individuals have a right to privacy in their personal spaces. Fifth Amendment, rights in criminal cases. The Fifth Amendment protects against self-incrimination, meaning you don't have to testify against yourself, and double jeopardy, you can't be tried twice for the same crime. It also includes the right to due process and fair compensation if the government takes private property. Sixth Amendment, right to a fair trial. This guarantees a speedy and public trial, the right to know who's accusing you, and the right to have a lawyer. It ensures a fair judicial process. Seventh Amendment, right to a jury in civil cases. This gives individuals the right to a jury trial in civil cases involving disputes over a certain amount of money, providing a fair hearing by peers. Eighth Amendment, protection against cruel and unusual punishment. This amendment prohibits excessive bail and fines, as well as cruel punishments. It's a safeguard against inhumane treatment in the justice system. Ninth Amendment, unenumerated rights. The Ninth Amendment acknowledges that citizens have more rights than those explicitly listed in the Constitution, ensuring the protection of fundamental liberties even if they're not spelled out. Tenth Amendment, states' rights. The Tenth Amendment says that powers not delegated to the federal government belong to the states. This has been key in maintaining a balance between state and federal power. Additional amendments. 11th Amendment, suits against states. Adopted in 1795, it prevents citizens of one state or foreigners from suing another state in federal court, ensuring state sovereignty. 12th Amendment, election of President and Vice President. The 12th Amendment changed the electoral process, requiring separate ballots for President and Vice President. This was a response to earlier elections where candidates from opposing parties could end up in the top two executive positions. 13th Amendment, abolition of slavery. Ratified in 1865, this amendment abolished slavery in the United States, marking a monumental shift in American history. 14th Amendment, citizenship and equal protection. This amendment granted citizenship to all people born or naturalized in the U.S. including former slaves. It also introduced the Equal Protection Clause, preventing states from denying any person equal protection under the law. 15th Amendment, right to vote regardless of race. This amendment, passed in 1870, granted African American men the right to vote, though discrimination persisted through methods like literacy tests and poll taxes until the 20th century. 16th Amendment, federal income tax. The 16th Amendment allows Congress to levy an income tax, which provides revenue for federal programs and services. 17th Amendment, direct election of senators. Prior to this amendment, state legislatures chose senators. Now, the 17th Amendment gives citizens the power to directly elect their senators. 18th Amendment, prohibition of alcohol. Ratified in 1919, this amendment banned the sale, manufacture, and transport of alcohol. However, it was later repealed by the 21st Amendment due to widespread discontent. 19th Amendment, Women's Right to Vote. This landmark amendment, ratified in 1920, granted women the right to vote, marking a huge victory for women's rights activists. 20th Amendment, Terms of President and Congress. The 20th Amendment changed the start dates for terms of Congress and the President to January, shortening the lame duck period and speeding up the transition. 21st Amendment, Repeal of Prohibition. This amendment repealed the 18th Amendment, ending prohibition in 1933. 22nd Amendment, Two-term limit for presidents. Ratified in 1951, this amendment limits presidents to 2 terms in office, following Franklin D. Roosevelt's 4-term presidency. 23rd Amendment, Voting Rights for D.C. Residents. This amendment grants residents of Washington, D.C. the right to vote in presidential elections. 24th Amendment, Abolition of Poll Taxes. Ratified in 1964, this amendment banned poll taxes in federal elections, helping to eliminate barriers to voting for low-income citizens. 25th Amendment, Presidential Succession. The 25th Amendment clarifies the line of succession if a president becomes incapacitated, and it has been used for temporary transfers of power when presidents undergo medical procedures. 26th Amendment, Voting age lowered to 18. Passed in 1971, this amendment lowered the voting age from 21 to 18, largely in response to arguments that 18-year-olds could be drafted to fight in wars but couldn't vote. 27th Amendment, Congressional Pay. The final amendment, ratified in 1992, delays congressional pay raises until after the next election, ensuring that Congress can't give itself an immediate pay increase. And there you have it, all 27 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Each one has played a role in shaping the rights, freedoms, and systems we live under today. Thanks for watching, and if you learned something new or have any questions, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history and law. See you next time.